Hi everybody, this is Dale. Welcome to my channel, Not Too Shabby Chic. I've got a flip through to do for you today of a journal that I made. It's a single signature, and I know I need to do more than one signature because I get, as some people call them, the crocodile mouth, alligator mouth, because I start out smaller and end up bigger and bigger, and I probably should. And I think the next journal that I do, actually, I'm going to assemble my signatures and decorate them, and then do my cover and decide how thick my spine will be, so that I don't have this. But it doesn't bother me. Some people don't like that look. I guess you could tie it tighter and squish it. But in any case, it was fun to do. It's just a very simple journal with one signature. I glued this ribbon. It's burlap ribbon with the white polka dots, kind of a quarter of the way, almost halfway on the front and back for the cover. And I had this little dangle that was off of a necklace that I had, and I decided to clip it right on there with a ball pin, which is very cute. And you can use your old broken jewelry, earrings, get it from other people, because yard sales, because they're really cute. You might not ever wear that, although I would wear that on a necklace, just saying. It's kind of cute. But anyway, so I took some vintage lace. Um, Before that, this is creepy cloth in beige. So I laid that down and glued it. Then I put the vintage crocheted lace. I keep trying to go out of camera. And then I put cardboard, inked around it a bit. I love this little picture. I got it on some paper, trying to get it focused, from wish.com, and it's a 6x6 little paper pack, and I love the little boy. So I cut him out and just roughed up the edges with a Tim Holtz little page distressor, and put the little key there. Then here's some eyelash trim with a couple of vintage buttons, and that kind of completes the cover. Underneath the creepy cloth and the crocheted doily, I sewed some ribbon that's kind of frays after you tie it. I put that up under, and I also stitched around the outside of the journal, and that's my closure. It's just that. And I love jute, burlap, and those things because they're kind of grungy, vintage, and grungy goodness is my thing. I got that saying from Sean Petit, who taught me so much in mixed media, that I've carried some of that over to junk journaling. And it's really fun. And I'm going to start doing even more of those techniques. She's an amazing artist. And once I learn how to link below, like a lot of you guys do, I'll do that. But just look up Sean Petit. She has a YouTube channel and a Facebook group, and she's amazing. So here we go. On the inside, the first page, I stitched around. This is an old library card. Just stitched around it, put some decorating with burlap, eyelash trim, sari silk, an old reproduction coin. This was off at the end piece of a piece of fabric, and I saved it because I like numbers. And I made these little tags. And it almost looks leathery by the time you sew it. So I kind of did a Franken page, if you will. And I love the sparkles and the different shades of browns. And then on the back, you can write on it. That almost looks like a refrigerator if I just put a little handle there, wouldn't it? Ha. But anyway, I just love this tag. And then this was some ribbon I got in Happy Mail, I believe. So that's that one tag. And this tag I made, it was manila color, and I stenciled over it and inked it. And apparently I had glued, book page on it here and here. And then I decided to put the lace over it because I do like the layers. And I used this Tim Holtz lady. And then I used Do More Than Exist. And I believe that's also from a Tim Holtz, the little packs of words that you get in phrases. And I just thought she was cute. And this is some ribbon that I shredded it looks like netting almost. And when I tie it on, I just snip it so that it comes apart. And here's the back where I didn't stencil. I'm sorry, I stamped. I inked it and just stamped this design on it, just kind of faded. So those were fun. This page, which I always like to do, and we all forget to do this sometimes, count my blessings. I believe I got this from TLC Creates Vintage. Paulette Slater does awesome digitals, as does Sherry. I can't pronounce her last name, but Sismer. She's in Studio 28E Facebook group, which I'm admin in. But this happens to be from TLC, and I just got a little piece of a little snippet of a piece of lace there and stamped around, but I sewed that on. But we should count our blessings every day, and you could put a date on this and just list a blessing. You can just do one a day. Every day we should try to find something that we're grateful for, and those are your blessings. We're blessed to live in this country. We're blessed to have family and friends. We're blessed to get to craft, to have just things around our home that we can use, not even have to buy things. We're blessed to have a community of people who are so sweet and friendly and share their experiences and their talents and their gifts with one another and encourage one another. It's just, that's a huge blessing, and it's helped me learn and grow so very much, and I'm grateful and thankful for each of you who I consider my blessings. This page is just a fake envelope, and it says, out of a book, a welcome message, and there's my tiny envelope, and I did that as if it opened up to a letter opened up to read, with a piece of fabric I inked and made a ruffle out of. I did a stamp background, looks like little dots or bubbles, and this is teal eyelash trim. I love turquoise or teals. This page is coffee dyed paper I did, and I have this little bird stamp that I stuck on there, and a little sticker. I got this in a page of stickers from Dollar Tree, and I love this ribbon. I sewed it on. It's a burlap little looped ribbon. Here's the other side of the coffee dyed paper that I did, a stamp from Stampin' Up, and this reverse side where I sewed that ribbon on. I stuck a doily in here that I coffee dyed, just for looks, I guess. This side's another pocket. I love this little trim. I got it for a whole roll for $1 at Joann's. And do you know, I can't find it now. When I go back, they have colors and they don't have this. I love this, the cream. So I'm always on the hunt for that. Some vintage buttons and decorating book pages to make the pocket. And I made a little mini journal. I just used a stencil from Sean Petit. It's a flower stencil, and I did it dark and then light behind it, and then some text so that it gives it a dimensional look. It's not a booklet, I'm sorry. It's just an open up little thing to write on. And I did the back the same as the front. Glued that down for good measure. And the inside, I stamped all over it. So that kind of took away writing on it. So I might glue a picture on there. Or if I sell it, someone can put a picture on there. Or I may end up putting coffee dyed paper or something there so that you can write on it. I got carried away with my stamping, which I do sometimes. I like to stamp things up. I over embellish, I know. So I was telling a friend yesterday that my journals seem to be for my journals are perfect to give someone who doesn't like to journal, because it's so embellished that they'd only have room to write 2 or 3 words. I feel great today, or, you know, so-and-so loves me, Jesus loves me, or it's a wonderful life, or just stick pictures in it. You know, there's not a lot of room to write in some of the journals that I've done. So these would be perfect for those people you want to give a journal to, and maybe you can fill it out. I thought, you know, it would be nice to have someone give you a journal, and on the journaling pages, have things that you write about them, that you love about them, things that you think about them, and to encourage them. And you can write scriptures or your own thoughts on the pages where there's journaling spots, and fill it in for them. Put little pictures and decorate it, and just give it as an encouragement book to someone that may not like to journal, but might need to know how much somebody thinks about them, and be a type of encouragement for them. So that's just an idea I thought I'd share. The reverse side, you see the sewing. I just stapled with a mini stapler the burlap on there, and stamped the old-timey chair. And I love these. These are stickers, and they feel rubbery almost. And I think I got these at Dollar Tree as well, or either Tuesday morning, I can't remember. Um, and then I just zigzag stitched a piece of lace that I got at Joann's for $1. And this says where and what. Where and what? I don't know. You can write it there. Stitched in is eyelash trim, vintage button, lace, and that stamp um, is cut out of some ephemera or paper pack. And then I hand carved a little stamp just for squiggly lines. And I thought, well, that almost looks like a postage stamp look. And that's before I actually got one. So I did that. This is a stamp that looks like it's been sewn, but it hasn't. And I got these from Linda Israel's website because she sells those, and they're really cool. This is chai tea, and we have it at work, and I love it. And I thought, well, I can keep these and recycle them, and I put them in this little journal. This is a pocket, and it also makes it smell good. And I put a couple of tags in. There's a little teacup or a coffee cup, and I have a little dangle there with a vintage lace, and I made these 2 tags. This is out of somebody's kit, journal kit or something, and I'm honestly sorry, I can't remember who I got it from, but I tied eyelash trim and distressed the edges. This I did a stamp on, a rubber stamp on both sides, and eyelash trim again. But you can use your tea bag holders, foils, as pockets. And if you don't like the way it looks, you can always glue something over the top. I use the actual tea bag here without the tea, and the Celestial Seasonings have little messages, and this is a quote by Oscar Wilde: "Who being loved is poor." And isn't that true? If you've got love and people who love you, you're not a poor person. You're rich beyond belief. And we all have someone who loves us more than anyone could. And that's God. He loved us. And I used like the spray inks. Lindy Stamp Gang. I'm sorry, I was trying to remember. That's what I used to stamp that, and I inked around it. And then this little booklet, You Are Loved. I believe I got that stamp at Joann's. And it's just something you can write in, and there's a cross on the back because that's who loved you. And there's a little moth and the stitching from Linda Israel. And then I sewed down, you can see on this side, this little trim I got at Joann's on my coffee dyed paper. And there's a little typewriter stamp. I believe I got that at Joann's as well. This is a canvas fabric swatch that I got online from either Pottery Barn or the Shade Store or Barnes and Smith and Noble. I can't recall which, but those 3 sites you can get free samples and it's free shipping. So they're awesome. And then I stamped with black ink with this rubber stamp that I have. Choose Joy on top of the creepy claw. And I have to remind myself to choose joy. Joy is not always easy. We can be happy, but happy is based on circumstances. Joy is based on your spirit. And you can choose to have joy even in the midst of hard times and bad times. And when you choose to be joyful and choose to have joy, it comes from counting your blessings and remembering all the things you have to be thankful for, even in the midst of a trial. So I remind myself to choose joy, and it makes my day go much better, and it makes the circumstance seem much less ominous. And I made these little tags. I don't remember where I got these, black and white images, but they're cute, and I inked around it with a teal ink. And this I got in Happy Mail from somebody. Honestly, don't remember who it was. It's an old library card. You know what? I didn't get this from somebody. I made this myself. Hello. And I stitched around it. I do believe. See? I've slept since then, so I forgot. Yep. Challenge. Well, sometimes my camera, there we go. Challenge the world. It's a phrase I got out of a book, and I like the little rubber stamp that I did in the corner. And I just glued this little thing down with a key. And the key says life. So in your life, challenge the world. You don't have to accept the status quo. And that's what this is a reminder of. Challenge what the world says is okay, because not everything society or the world says is okay is okay. We're called to be in the world but not of the world. So that's what I try to do. This is a piece of boho-ish fabric I got from Sheila Gingrich, and I just cut that out and put eyelash trim under it, and there's some washi tape. And it's a little mini, this is like a thin piece of cardboard, the part you peel off, and I coffee dyed it, and then I inked it. And on this side, let's see, come on. You know what? I'm going to smack my camera. Simpler times. And I made a little belly band out of, I don't know what that is. I guess it's out of cardstock. And a vintage button, you know, all that stuff. And then here's another little mini book, which I like to do. I just stapled it and put some ribbon, lace on the back, and I did some gesso. Vintage button, stamped and gessoed the pages so they're not as crumbly, and you can write on them. And I love it because it looks old. And I guess I like the old stuff because I'm getting old. I don't know. Maybe. Sorry. Then I just stick that in so you wouldn't even have to take it out to journal. You could just leave it in there. This is another one of those stickers that I told you about earlier. Is another one. And I had stamped on the back, sewed the ribbon. This is a little image I got out of a collage book of paper that I have, and I had stamped behind it. Here again, coffee dyed paper. I found this roll of ribbon that looks like a ruler. It's white, and I just inked it. On this side, I just sewed a piece of lace there, and there's my cross. You see some of it coming off. A little rose stamp that I thought was really pretty. How do you get this to work? There we go. And sewed that lace there. I like it to look really raggedy, this book. Love notes. You know, love notes to myself, or if you're going to give it to someone, love notes to them. And here's another little cluster that I made. It's a little tiny pocket that was separate, and I decided to glue it in here. And it's got the little fake envelopes. And then I made these little tags. This is a reproduction like of an old letter, and that says Imagine, and another letter. So you can write on the back of those, and those were fun. And I used old book page. It says, he saved money if. I didn't even know that did that. I must have covered up a mistake. So there's that page. This is a little tiny tag that moves with a little brad, and it again says the little things, which I like little things. My mother always did. This is that rubber stamp I use a lot, and just stamped all over and glued the lace crocheted stuff down. This page I put a little gold star and the little moth. He's cute. And I did a faint stamping there, and this is cardboard. There's another one of those stamps I got at Dollar Tree. This I glued down. It was cardstock, and I just stamped it and inked around it on top of this cardboard paper. I made a tuck spot here out of some cardstock that I have. I love this paper. I don't remember what it is. And this tag, Time Brings Roses. And I don't remember who gave me that. Aren't y'all tired of me saying that? And I wrapped the sari silk around it. So I'll have to start doing a better job of remembering where I got things. This is just a messy page with the stamps, and it was coffee dyed pretty heavy. I sewed the lace. Collect beautiful moments. That's what we need to do. Again, counting your blessings, being thankful, and choosing joy, remembering you're loved, help you to collect beautiful moments. And they happen every day. And this is a stamp that I got that I really like, the dandelions with the little fairy. This I made out of a dictionary page, and it says curiosity is the main word, and then of course there's curse and currency. So we don't want to look at the curse. We want to look at curiosity. And then someone sent me this in Happy Mail, the journaling card. And I made this card. I put a little stamp. I think I got that out of a cardstock book. Zigzag stitched around it with a crocheted lace, and you can journal on the back. I need to decorate this because I don't like that curse thing. This I like, this fabric. I made ruffles out of it. Isn't it cute? It's really like ribbon. It's kind of wide. And, oh, this was something I got in Happy Mail as well. And I just made a tag. I stamped on the back, or stenciled, I'm sorry, on the back with brown ink. And then this little tag. And I did the eyelash trim. It's just a tuck spot. This is so much fun. This is a vintage ear bob from way back when. I was blessed enough to donate some time to a place called the Turnip Green, which is an art recycle and reuse store. And I happened to be sorting jewelry, and people donated and found a big bag, good sized bag of ear bobs and antique jewelry. So I snagged them. So instead of an altered paper clip, I did an altered ear bob. So you can clip it, like I did this, onto this tag to clip it in a journal. But I just thought it was something different. I used the sari ribbon and some fabric samples that I got from one of those websites I told you about. And then, where did I have it? This page I stenciled. This was another sample fabric that I used, sari silk, and I just ear bobbed it on here, clipped it right on. So that was fun. It's easy to do. Just like that. Oops. And I thought the colors were really pretty. So this is an actual little pocket. So I have a pocket travel trivia card. It gives you the questions and the answers. It's fun. I did this tag with the sari silk. I may have gotten these from probably either TLC or Tsunami Rose. It seemed like in the beginning when I was first collecting things, I got a lot of things from TLC because she gives so many free things away, and then her prices are really cheap, and I bought them. And that's before I knew about some other folks. I know this is from TLC Creates Vintage. Don't wish for miracles, expect them. Following the theme of being grateful and looking for the good, this is true too. Miracles still happen. And I put the lace on the back, sewed it on, and this in the front. So that was fun. And then I just inked this side so you can still write on it. This is a little flip book. It says, it's the little things that make life big. So I took two different sayings and put them together, stamped in green. This is a sample of that fabric. And then I did a end punch for the pages. And it's just little coffee dyed papers that I did really dark. And I just glued it down so you could journal there. Here's another pocket that I did. This is a paper pack that I got, coral something or other, and I love this paper. It's really, really pretty. And I made a couple of tags. This one I got, again, TLC Creates Vintage. I think she mailed those to me because she has a vintage ephemera kit that you can purchase and she'll mail them to you already printed and cut out. And I had gotten a couple of those. This, I love this, is out of a cardstock thing that I love, the sparkly paper. I have it in gold and a mauve. And this is another one of those cool stickers. And you can journal in it. Inked it kind of dark. So that was fun. The other side of the doily. I guess I've already passed my middle. Oh, there was the middle, and I just glued down that ribbon to hide it. Sometimes I like to do that. Here's a page just stamped with a vintage button. Just stamp that lightly. This is a piece of that vintage jewelry that I got. Isn't that pretty? That I put down. And this is another little, this is an altered paper clip. And I learned how to do that. I believe it was Artie Mays showed how to do that. I just put this little stamp that I got out of a paper pack, little birdie, and I stamped that chevron print on and stamped every page. There's a bird cage, the birds, a little violin, not a violin, bass violin, I guess, or cello, typewriter. So that's just a little altered paper clip, and I stenciled this paper with obviously the turquoise ink. Here's a belly band out of lace, and I stamped, or stenciled, I'm sorry, with red onto this page. This I got from Sean Petit. This is her stencil. It says, "You are loved," in red with the cross, and I stitched around it. This was cardstock out of a book of card, and it has these little cutouts in it that I really liked. So that goes there, or wherever you would want it to go. And this is a postcard I got from my sister. She had a client or customer who gave her stacks of postcards because she traveled all over the world and collected these. And she gave them all to my sister to see if she could use them or knew someone who could, and she thought of me. So some of you will recognize this painting. It's a postcard about a painting. I am bad. I don't remember who the artist is, but I just loved the woman and the little girl and thought it was really pretty. So I glued that down and stitched around. This is the back side, and this is the reverse side of the journal. Burlap comes over, the creepy cloth and stuff, piece of cardboard, vintage button, and I loved, reminded me of me and my sister back when we were little. They're out in the country and looking over the hill. I just thought that was a precious picture. So that is that, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will come back and visit me soon. Have a great day.